Good evening. I'm YAMO. Tonight, we examine why Orhan Ghazi matters not as a conqueror, but as a system builder. In an age defined by feudal fear, arbitrary taxation, and personal rule, Orhan Ghazi helped construct a model of governance that replaced intimidation with predictability. That shift explains why early Ottoman rule expanded with limited resistance and long-term stability. In the early 14th century, Orhan Ghazi inherited a frontier state where rule was brutal. Across Anatolia and the Balkans, power was exercised through coercion, taxes were unpredictable, and loyalty was enforced by force. Orhan governed differently. After making bursts of the Ottoman capital, he focused less on constant expansion and more on administration. His priority was sustainable rule, replacing fear with reliable systems. The core of this approach was institutional mercy, not sentiment, but structure. First, taxation was standardized. Unlike feudal systems that incentivized abuse, Orhan's administration assessed and limited taxes. Peasants knew what they owed, which increased long-term revenue. Second, land was removed from absolute private control. Revenue rights were tied to service, not permanent possession. This checked the power of local elites and prevented the rise of warlords. Third, justice was separated from personal rule. Orhan appointed judges who applied Islamic law to Muslims and recognized communal law for non-Muslims, a marked improvement over arbitrary feudal justice. Fourth, religious communities were protected. In return for a tax, they retained internal authority and received state protection, which reduced rebellion and stabilized urban life. These mechanisms changed incentives. Farmers stayed on their land and merchants invested in markets. Ottoman territory grew not only through military success, but through voluntary integration. This system also reshaped military power. Soldiers were paid through regulated revenue, not unchecked plunder, keeping armies disciplined. Orhan was managing scarcity and constant threat. Mercy worked not because resources were abundant, but because restraint created stability, and stability created growth. Why does this story matter today? Because it challenges the assumption that early empires survived through fear alone. Orhan's model shows that predictability, limits on power, and legal accountability can be more effective than intimidation. Markets respond to trust. Societies endure when people believe tomorrow will resemble today. It also explains why later Ottoman rule could scale across diverse populations. The foundations were not built on mass displacement or forced conversion, but on administrative choices that align state survival with public welfare. This history is often minimized because it complicates simple narratives of conquest and domination. Systems that reduce fear are harder to dramatize than violence, but they shape outcomes far more decisively. Orhan Ghazi's legacy is not a single battle or title. It is a transition from personal rule to institutional governance, from feudal fear to structured mercy. That transition changed how power worked, and it changed who benefited from it.